Hi there folks, my name's NovaWrap and welcome to the NovaWrap, your one-stop location for your simulation release news and goings on from the week that was. So here we are on Sunday the 21st of April 2019, and happy Easter to everybody that may celebrate, or happy Humpty Dumpty Day to those who may not. Anyway, moving on. I do want to say we're going to jump straight into it this week with the guys for an ESP release with the guys over at Jetstream Designs with their 3-for-1 deal, as it were. So the guys over at Jetstream Designs previously had released their rendition of Paris Orly Airport. Interesting that Aerosoft hasn't really updated theirs lately, so great to see Jetstream filling that thing. They first of all initially released it for Prepared V4, later on they then also released it for Prepared V3, and now they have actually surprised, in some ways actually kind of surprised me, where what they've actually done is that they've actually released it now for FSX. So in a kind of, I'm very happy that they've done that. So what they've done is they've gone through and they've actually sort of still brought to us the airfield as it appears at the start of 2019, and some sort of ambitions sort of work of where it will appear in sort of like towards the end of the year as well. They've included with a animated SODE jetways, high definition textures of all the airport buildings as it currently appears at 2019, animated airport vehicles, animated train servicing the airport, extensive auto-gen buildings for the surrounding area, full rendition of the night environment, full sets of 4-season textures, and full implementation of GSX and GS Level 2 compatibility as well. So really pleased to see that they've done that here. Now, what they've done even better, which is again I'm really impressed about, is the fact that not only have they made available for those who might still be using FSX, you actually, if you have previously purchased the one for V3 or V4, you're actually entitled to a free upgrade to enable you to access all of them. So buy once, access all the sim platforms, 32 and 64-bit, or the ESP sim variations, the sim platform variations, 32 and 64-bit for one price. So I'm really impressed, guys, at Jetstream. So I want to say congratulations to you guys for doing that, because that's a great way to really endear yourself to people like myself who still use multiple platforms. I use both Prepared V3, Prepared V4, and FSX as well for various different reasons. So, guys, I want to say thanks very much for that great work. Keep it up. If you are wanting to add this one, if you have been a FSX user hanging out for this, you can now upgrade your FSX experience for the grand price of 28 US dollars or your original equivalent, available now from Sim Market. And another scenery release this week. The guys over at RF Scenery Building have they've been gone for a little while, but they're back now, continuing their release of Italian airports. This time with their rendition of Lampedusa. I probably got that wrong, which is the province of Argento in Sicily, which is actually kind of interesting for me, because when I saw this, I actually looked it up and went, because I've spent some time in Sicily. I went hiking there, sort of hiked a lot of volcanoes through Italy and Sicily, and I was thinking, I don't remember this, and then I looked at it on a map and realised the reason why I don't remember it is because it's quite a ways away from Sicily. It's actually closer to Tunisia, so it's a separate island, the island Lampedusa, which is actually, as I said, closer to Tunisia and the African sort of continent rather than it is to Sicily. So it's kind of interesting but it does serve as a very touristy location, touristy island. So this is a rendition of not only the island, but also, so not the airport, but also the island as well. So a full implementation of the airfield as it appears at the end of 2018, including custom airport buildings, custom platforms and custom vehicles, custom runway lighting, as well as 3D lighting for the lighting masts for the apron and the actual taxiways, and airport airport lighting as well. Full implementation of glass effects on the windows and buildings, and a full land class and custom objects for the whole island as well. Now, one thing that it is kind of interesting here, they do note that it is not compatible with Tabaray's Italian 19-meter mesh, apparently because the mesh for that island is not very good. which is possibly understandable considering that it's, I don't even know if that Italian mess actually includes it, because yeah, it's kind of Italy but kind of not at the same time. So anyway, otherwise this is available for all of the ESP platforms, so FSX and prepared in all its forms, coming in at $19 or your original equivalent, available now from Sim Market. In an aircraft release for the ESP world this week, the guys over at Carinado have brought to life their rendition of the ATR 42 500 series, coming in at their pretty standard price of $45. So this one's, I've been reading a bit of interesting comments about Carinado stuff over the last few weeks, particularly on the back of another developer's working towards their ATR 72. And I must say that the Carinado one that's come through is pretty standard stuff from Carinado, coming in with a very highly detailed, beautiful looking 3D model, both internally and externally. Full implementation of PBR texturing for prepared V4 4.4 and above users. Full implementation of their custom coded avionics, as well as fully compatible with Flight One's GTN 750 or Reality XP's GTN 750 as well, if you prefer those who use it. Full use and setup and testing for VR pilots, if you are using a VR. Fully set up of a full custom sound set from a real ATR 42, including both external engine sounds as well as internal aural warnings and sound systems from the actual flight deck as well. Full implementation of startup procedures and implementation of a cold and dark start option, and fully tested by actual pilots. Interesting that a few users have commented that they find the Carinado stuff not very realistic, but you know what, I really like Carinado stuff, always have, because for me it provides a good balance between users wanting realism and wanting an entry level and wanting something that's accessible. I find the Carinado stuff overall to be a good balance between the two. I think perhaps sometimes Carinado stuff is a little too pricey, but at the same time they do very, very quality good work, and as I said, I support them and I think they've done a great job with it. So as I said, looking at this one coming in, they're pretty standard price, coming in at $45, available now from Carinado. Moving on to another sim with another interesting release this week. The guy moving on to AeroFly FS2. So a sim that we don't get to talk about much on the new release show here on the NovaWrap, but it's really exciting to see this to make this announcement this week. So the guys over at Just Flight have brought their Duchess Model 76 Beechcraft Duchess over onto the AeroFly FS2 platform. Now, this is a fairly significant milestone, and I really want to stress this one here to everybody, because AeroFly FS2 is a platform that a lot of developers are very cautious and very wary of at the moment, because it's very much the sim that has a lot of potential, but it's still very much in its infancy at the moment. So AeroFly FS2, for those who may not know it, is a single player sim. There is no multiplayer option at the moment. It's some of the very harsh criticisms about it at the moment is the fact that it is very much it's a dead world. There is no sort of AI traffic. There is no multiplayer experience. There is no multi-platform experience at the moment, which is unfortunate. And I do hope that they rectify that in the near future. Funnily enough, there is a community-made add-on that's in development at the moment that'll give you AI traffic. So that could be quite interesting as well. But it is a sim that is absolutely gorgeous. Like its graphical fidelity is absolutely. Is quite frankly second to none. It is absolutely second to none. It beats the pants off Prepared and off X-Plane, just hands down. It completely does. And the development team behind it have got a lot of passion, and they've been working towards that. I do have a couple of bugbears with it. It's interesting actually, because you are limited to, you have to buy regions, otherwise it's sort of like the whole Earth is modeled, but it's just this brown mess. If you want to see areas, you have to buy them. And whether that be direct from the IPAX developers or from Orbix, which have done a lot of great work in there as well. But it is very high, as I said, graphically it is second to none. It works beautifully well in VR. It is absolutely I know my friend and colleague Belgio absolutely swears by it for VR as well. So it's a great, impressive thing, and it's great to see them working on helicopter flight dynamics as well. And they do have a separate flight dynamics model for helicopters. So anyway, that's sort of just as an aside. So, but as I said, it's a platform that a lot of developers are very wary of. and really so far, and Just Flight now are the first developer to actually go full in with actually developing aircraft for it. So we've seen Orbix and Aerosoft come out with sort of, tentatively testing the water by bringing some scenery over to AeroFly, but now we've got our first developer of aircraft in AeroFly FS2, which is great to see. So we do have, as I said, this is the Duchess Model 76. Now I do have this for review. I'm just finishing off my review of it at the moment, so look for that coming in the next few days. But overall, it's looking pretty good. As I said, they brought it over from as a solid aircraft that's worked very well in the ESP and the X-Plane 11 platforms. They brought it over to AeroFly FS2, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. It really does. Really highly detailed 3D model, and a lot of things working and fully functional in it. Limited by a couple of limitations of the sim, but I'll discuss that in my review. But overall, looking really good. Now, not only have the Just Flight team actually sort of brought this one to life, coming in at their standard GA aircraft price of $42. They have actually also confirmed that they are bringing a second aircraft to AeroFly FS2 as well, in the form of one of their numerous Piper Arrows. They will bring that, the turbine version. They will be bringing that to AeroFly FS2's guys in the near future, so keep an eye on that as well. So great to see that they are developing that. Great to see they are working for that one. It's fully compatible with AeroFly FS2 on both PC and Mac. So that one's available now from the Just Flight website. Available now. Moving back onto our more regularly scheduled programming of the X-Plane 11 world. So, release news this week was kind of interesting. So a few weeks ago, we saw the guys over FSDG port over some of their content over from the ESP world into X-Plane 11. I reported on that, I think it was about 3-4 weeks ago that was, where they brought across their renditions of Sharm El Sheikh, Dakar, Blase Djane International Airport, or Dakar International Airport, and the Agadir International Airport. So they brought across all three of those onto the X-Plane 11 platform. They've now re-released them again for X-Plane 11 via Aerosoft onto the Steam platform. So previously these have been available for X-Plane 11 if you can buy them direct from FSDG website. Now, if you are an X-Plane 11 Steam user, you are able now to pick it up via Steam. I'm just going to put on this just a couple of caveats on this. There's no real difference in price. You'll get $16 for each of them, so pretty standard. $18 for Agadir. No difference, exactly the same as the one they get, so I'm not going to get too far into it. As I said, you can check it out on their website as well. The only thing I'm going to say is, this is a caveat that I always place on whether it be FSX Steam Edition products or X-Plane add-ons on Steam Edition, is that just be cautious of purchasing add-ons via Steam, because of the fact that if in the future, when X-Plane 12 comes out, should it ever come out, then although add-ons may be forwards compatible in X-Plane 12, just as let me rephrase. Let's use X-Plane 10 and 11 as an example. X-Plane 10, many X-Plane 10 contents add-ons can be brought forward in X-Plane 11, a couple of minor tweaks. If you buy on Steam Edition, though, you can't do that. It is locked to only that platform. Same with if you purchase something for FSX Steam Edition, you can only use it for FSX Steam Edition. Whereas if you buy it from a third-party retailer or direct from the manufacturer, then from the creator, then you'll be able to potentially use it in other platforms as well. So always something just to be aware of, particularly because you don't have any price discount or benefit to be able to buy it here on Steam Edition. But if you are a X-Plane 11 Steam Edition only player, you don't foresee any worries with that. You can pick these ones up now for various price points available now on Steam. Alright, moving out of Flight Sim world and moving into the world of the permanent way with a couple of releases this week for Train Simulator. So the first one we saw was a new route add-on, which is the Inselbahn Stralsund to Sassnitz route add-on. So this was a route that was built in the 1880s. So originally sort of looked through with an idea where in the 1860s, when there was going to be a there was identified as a need to be able to put a shortened travel time journey between Germany and Sweden. And for that, of course, you need to get closer to the Baltic coast, but it would not be until the 1880s and 1890s where it would actually come to fruition. From that, it would actually go as a very, very extensive route and go through, so there's a lot of history in here, and it would be later on that, of course, as I said, it would go on to being a coastal town and be able to serve as an important tourist as well as travel destination as well. So we come through, and following the as it became electrified post the end of the Iron Curtain days, this way, this route appears in modern times and allows you to for beautiful scenic sites and scenic operations to be able to go up to along the Baltic coast. So this one includes a couple of things. Gives you 3 trains available here. So the Deutsche Bahnhof BR 120, 155, and 143, along with a 42 miles of route between from Stralsund to Sassnitz and to Ostseebad-Binz. Oh, try and say that 3 times quickly. Right. You also, along with that, not only do you get the 3 trains included with a variety of amounts of rolling stock, you also have included 7 career scenarios, as well as 3 rail fan scenarios are included here as well. Again, all the trains of all stands and routes are fully compatible with quick drive and abilities and Steam Workshop scenarios as well. So this one's coming in for a pretty standard price for these guys, coming in at $40 US, or the original equivalent, available now on Steam. And rounding out the releases for this week, the guys over Train Simulator released their latest Union Pacific Scenario Pack number 2. So obviously, funnily enough, this is the second scenario pack for the Great Union Pacific Fleet. So this allows you, gives you 10 scenarios to be able to recreate various parts of Union Pacific's very much standard routes, and also some of its more challenging scenarios and railroad explorations it goes through for a variety of different cargoes and different career opportunities. So this goes through everything from long rolling stock through to high-speed urgent deliveries to be made, along with a variety of train options and switching options to be included as well. So quite a bit of a range of distinct scenery that you can go through as well to be able to enjoy part of these scenarios. Now, as always, some of the things to be noted here that you do need a variety of add-ons to be able to enjoy all of these scenarios. So the bare minimum that you have to have is the Sherman Hill scenario, Sherman Hill route. You do have to have that as a bare minimum. If you want to make full use of all of the scenarios, you'll also need to have the Soldier Summit Salt Lake City with Salt Lake City Extension, Feather River Canyon, and Union Pacific Heritage SD70 and GP40-2 locomotive packs all included as well. Otherwise, I said 10 scenarios coming in at $10 US, or original equivalent, available now on Steam. And with that, folks, that does round out the NovaWrap for this week. Thank you very much for tuning in. Don't forget, as always, to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed these videos and want to see more. And of course, as always, you can catch up with me and all the things I'm up to between videos by finding me on Facebook and on Twitter. Just search NovaWing24. Alright, folks, thanks very much for watching. Take care, safe skies to all, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.